welcome you all for this series of Searching the Truth. Today we are going to see a beautiful truth, and I'm going to give the name of the topic for today's message, which is what you lose is only to gain. Let me read a verse from Luke chapter 9, verse 62. Jesus replied, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God." Let me read it again for you. No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God. The word plow really attracted me, and we need to understand the word plow because it plays a major role over here. When we plow the land, we actually prepare the land so that we can put the seed into the land, and the seed will be ready for the land to receive it, or the land will be ready to receive the seed, and then they water it, then the plant grows from the seed, and then it is ready for the harvest. Now I want you to look very carefully. So, anyone who puts the hand in the plow, which means, if you read the 61st verse, it says, "Still another said, 'I will follow you, Lord, but first let me go back and say goodbye to my family.'" Now imagine this person wants to follow Jesus, but he suddenly remembers his family. And he says, "I need to say goodbye to them." For which Jesus says, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the service in the kingdom of God." The moment he decides to follow Jesus, he is already getting ready to plow. He is already inside plowing. The very decision we take matters. The very decision we take matters. Because when we decide and we stumble, we need to be very careful. Let me show you another verse from Luke chapter 14. And let me read from verse 26. "If anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brother and sister, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple." Here again, Jesus is saying, you need to hate. When I read, we always get stuck over here and we interpret it in a very different manner. Each and every time we interpret this in a very odd way, like, I'm going for the ministry, so no family, nothing. I have committed for the Lord, so I won't even marry. These are a lot of concepts or ideas which has actually came out from this. Because I myself have thought about myself in such a way. Now, if you carefully look, after saying this, then Jesus goes on to give two examples. One example, he says, a man who wants to build a tower, and if he does not plan, if he does not put an estimate, and without even preparing himself before building the tower, if he builds the tower, then he may not be able to complete the work. That's the example, first example Jesus is giving. Then the second example he says, if suppose a king is getting ready to go for a war, the king, if he does not prepare himself, analyze himself, can I make a war with 10,000 people or 10,000 soldiers or 20,000 Romans? And if he doesn't make an estimate, if he doesn't prepare himself, then he might lose the war. But if he prepares and if he sees, oh, I will not be able to fight, then he will try to make a compromise. After giving these two examples, Jesus again goes to say in the 33rd verse of Luke chapter 14, he says, in the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciple. In the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciple. Now, what does this two example has to do with giving up everything? Giving up the parents, giving up the wife, children, brother. What exactly is Jesus trying to say over here? There is a deep secret behind it. And he goes ahead to give one more example after this. He says, salt is good, but if it loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is fit neither for the soil nor for the manure pile. It is thrown out. He's giving one more example about the salt. Salt has value only until there is saltiness in it. Otherwise, it is useless. See, only when you complete a work, only when you finish something, there is a value for it. So, what exactly is Jesus trying to say over here? Do we need to sacrifice everything? Though the man who puts the sand in the plow and turns back is not fit for the kingdom. What is God trying to say? Can't he say even a goodbye to his parents? What exactly is Jesus trying to say over here? I want you to come with me to Matthew chapter 5. And here I would like to read a verse, which is the 29th verse. Here it talks about the adultery. And he says, if your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. Oh my God. Saying if your eye is causing you to stumble, gouge it out. If this is being followed by our Christians, how many parts of the body needs to be plunged out or scourged out, There is always a lot of stumbling and we think, okay, eye is a problem. Oh, ear is a problem. My tongue always speaks filthy. Tongue is a problem. If you cut the tongue, you can't even eat. Is that what Jesus is trying to really bring out? What is he trying to really say? One, he says, if you put your hand in the plow, don't turn back. Unless you hate, you cannot be my disciple, or you're not fit for the kingdom. Here again he says, unless you scourge it out or plunge it out, otherwise you will go to hell.